answer, he did have a lot of caveats. Let's watch that.
I think we can simplify our tax system. I think we can make it more efficient. We can eliminate loopholes and deductions that have a distorting effect on our economy. I believe that we have to continue to take a serious look at how we reform our entitlements.
All right, so two huge problems there. Once they start talking about loopholes and deductions, that means maybe the rates stay where they are. We take away some loopholes and deductions. Sure, that's what we do. Yeah, that's the ticket. And then did you hear the second part? Oh, entitlements, I'm coming for you. They're going to hack away at entitlements. How clear does he have to be? Well, if all that wasn't clear enough, they asked Jay Carney, the White House spokesperson, hey, this $250,000, the people making above that are going to get the tax increase. They're going to go back to the Clinton-era rates. Right? Yeah, maybe not. Watch.
How open is he to the notion that's been put forward by Tim Kaine that maybe you'd make the limit 500,000 or Chuck Schumer $1 million?
I think I've given you pretty good parameters on the president's thinking going into the process that he himself said begins with the proposal, the specific proposal he has before Congress, but he is not wedded to every detail of that plan.
Oh, that's awesome. Not wedded to every detail. So maybe it's people making above 250,000, maybe 500,000, maybe $1 million. How far can you go? Here comes Obama negotiations. Oh, I can see that disaster from a mile away. Now, his top ally on Wall Street is a guy named Robert Wolf. He used to work for a Swiss bank. He's got his own company now. And he gave an interview that was very clear on where he thinks his friend President Obama is going. Quote, I would say that during the campaign season, there's always a lot of rhetoric back and forth. The campaign is over, the country has spoken, and the president has won. Wall Street and the president align on many things. In other words, yeah, of course, to get your vote, we told you we're not going to cut entitlements and we're going to raise tax on the rich. But now that the election is over, believe me, Wall Street and the president align. Then how about capital gains? Well, look, that might go back up, but that would be a good thing. Well, don't get too excited. Now, they should bring it back up to 39.6. If they do nothing, it goes back up to 39.6. That's normal income tax for the top bracket. Terrific, right? Here's a compromise. Quote, the private sector probably has an awareness of the capital gains rate will likely go back to somewhere around the low 20s. Maybe 20%, 22%. In that range, I don't think a lot of people have a significant problem with being in the low 20s. Really? They don't? Wow, are you not merciful? Of course you don't have a problem with that. That's an incredibly low rate. That's the big compromise we're going to get? Disaster. Now, how about Social Security? Now, remember, when Jim Lehrer asked about this during one of the debates, President Obama said, Mitt Romney and me? Well, here, take a look for yourself.
Do you see a major difference between the two of you on Social Security?
You know, I suspect that on Social Security, we've got a somewhat similar position.
Why? Why do you have a similar position? His position is to cut Social Security. And now I'm reading in articles in the Washington Post, etc., that in fact they might change the cost of living adjustment on Social Security, raise Medicare eligibility from 65 to 67. There are compromises galore. In fact, before I tell you how I would handle it, and I'm going to keep it real with you, it's not just bluster, it's reality, okay? Let me show you again today's press conference. This is all the times that President Obama said he would agree with corporations, he would agree with the Republicans, he would compromise. Here, watch for yourself.
Today I'm meeting with CEOs of some of America's largest companies to make these decisions in a balanced and responsible way. I'm open to compromise and I'm open to new ideas. I want to hear ideas from everybody. So I recognize that we're going to have to compromise. I just want to emphasize, I am open to new ideas. Democrats and Republicans, we're both going to hold hands, and that's precisely what I intend to do. I don't expect the Republicans simply to adopt my budget. That's not realistic. I'm not going to just slam the door in their face. Look, I think there's no doubt that I can always do better. I don't exempt myself from needing to do some self-reflection and see if I can improve our working relationship.
Oh, I got it. You can't wait to work with them. No. That's not how you negotiate. If I were President Obama, it's not that I wouldn't negotiate. It's not that I wouldn't compromise. Of course I would. I'm a reasonable person. But I would handle it certainly in a different way. First of all, now for the people making above $250,000, we just had an election about this. This is not on the table. This is not a discussion. Your taxes are going back up to 39.6%, where they were under Clinton, where our economy was booming and we created all those jobs. End of discussion. Oh, you don't agree with me? Oh, okay, I get it. Well, there's two, the Republicans are in the room. I don't just get, all right, you know what? Let's not do anything then. Then you know what happens? They go back up to 39.6% on January 1st of 2013. I can wait 6 weeks. Can you wait 6 weeks? They go back up. Oh, but so do the middle class taxes, right? And President Obama doesn't want that. Easy. On January 2nd, you introduce a bill. No, hold on. I'll get to 2014 in a second. January 2nd, you introduce a bill that says, hey, you know what? I'm going to do middle class tax cuts. You want to vote against it? Have at it, horse. Go ahead. Republicans are voting against the middle class tax cut. Can you believe it? Oh, okay. So you don't agree with any of this, okay? Great. You vote against the middle class tax cuts, but those taxes are going up for the rich. And if you don't like it, I'll see your ass in 2014. I would say the words 2014 approximately 89 times during that meeting. You don't like it? Let's go do this election again. I just kicked your ass. You think I can't do it again in 2014? Go for it, big guy. Let me see what you got. They will buckle. They will buckle. It's a guarantee. Now, it's not to say that you can't have compromises. What is on the table? Well, I would put the capital gains, dividend income, and carried interest. They're all incredibly low right now. Now, there's capital gains, I should correct myself from earlier in the segment, is slated to go up to 20%. It could easily go up to 39.6. Dividends are already slated to go to 39.6. That's what happens on January 1st of 2013. I've got all the leverage in the world. Go ahead, Boehner. Yap, 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 yap. 6 weeks from now, I win on almost every issue if I do nothing. They're gonna buckle. I'm not saying I won't negotiate. Those things are on the table. The income tax is not on the table. Also on the table is state tax. Look, that's also slated to go up. It's going to go up to 55%. Okay? All right, now it's at 35%. We can negotiate. Maybe we could make it 45%. And then you've got carried interest and corporate taxes. Now, corporate taxes, why in the world are we talking about cutting corporate taxes? I'd go in the opposite direction. I'm going to take away loopholes and deductions, and I'm not going to lower the rates. All right, we're having a conversation. We can negotiate over that. But I'm not going to just give you what you want. That makes no sense. I won. You lost. All right, I'm not done yet. How about spending cuts to tax increases? President Obama keeps saying, hey, I want to do $3 of spending cuts for every $1 in tax increases. Well, that was before the election. If I'm President Obama, I say, here's the new formula. Now we're going to do $1 in spending cuts for every $3 in tax increases. You know why? Because I won and you lost. And if you like, we can do it again in 2014. Would I settle for 2-2? Yeah, I would settle for that. But I wouldn't start at 3-1 against me. How crazy is that? Who would do that? Unless you want to lose. And by the way, 2 versus 2, that's balanced. 3-1 against yourself is not a balanced approach, Mr. President. And then finally, look, here's what else is off the table. So your so-called entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. We just had an election about this. Again, I would claim this Ronald Reagan clip as the first thing I did on Social Security.
Social Security has nothing to do with the deficit. Social Security is totally funded by the payroll tax levied on employer and employee.
Social Security off the table, not having a conversation. Medicare, well, there was this guy who was running for vice president who had some ideas on Medicare. Let's find out how that turned out for him.
Optional personal retirement accounts for Social Security, converting Medicare into a defined contribution sort of voucher system.
Yeah, wrong again, Bob. Well, he also had ideas on Medicaid. Let's see how that turned out for him.
What we're trying to do here is couple Medicaid reforms with food stamp reforms, housing assistance reforms, education reforms for job training. We're trying to couple these things by sending them back to the states in block grants.
Wrong again, Bob. You just ran an election on that and got your ass handed to you. I won, you lost. If you'd like, we can do this again in 2014. 2014, 2014. They will bend if you had someone strong who actually cared to win.